Hey everyone, before we dive in, please hit that subscribe button and join our channel. Drop a comment below to share where you're from and which city you're watching from. After the video, let us know what you do in this situation. Be real. We read every comment. Aunt Valerie's voice cut through the chatter, loud enough for everyone at the table to hear. She's only here for the free meal. Laughter erupted, sharp and piercing, bouncing off the golden glow of the banquet hall like a wound that wouldn't close. Glasses chimed, my cousin smirked, and my mother, Karen, froze, her fork hovering midair. Her smile wavered, but her eyes pleaded with me to stay calm. I did, offering only a faint smile in return. The chandelier above flickered, casting silver streaks across the gleaming floor, as if even the lights couldn't bear to watch this scene unfold. The air was thick with the scent of champagne and roses, cloying sweetness masking insincere people. Valerie leaned in, her crimson lips twisting. Really, Chloe shouldn't have bothered inviting her. No job, no partner, barely scraping by. And that outfit? Straight from a discount bin. Her daughter, Chloe, the flawless bride, let out a soft giggle. "Mom, enough," she murmured, but her sly grin betrayed her words. I folded my napkin with care, my voice steady but edged with precision. "You always assume you know my story, Aunt Valerie. Maybe it's time to check your facts." The laughter faded to whispers, but Valerie pressed on. "Oh, darling, denial doesn't change the truth. You're not fooling us." A few guests chuckled. My mother looked down, fidgeting with her bracelet. I scanned the glittering room, filled with faces I'd known forever, yet not one truly knew me. As I set my glass down, a man in a crisp black suit appeared at my side, an earpiece discreetly tucked behind his ear. He leaned in and spoke calmly. "Miss Bennet, your helicopter is prepared. We can leave when you're ready." The table fell silent. Forks stilled. Smiles froze. Valerie's eyes widened. "A helicopter? What?" I looked at Ryan, composed. "Thank you, Ryan. One moment." He nodded and stepped back. Every gaze locked on me. I rose slowly, my midnight blue gown shimmering as it grazed the floor. "Excuse me," I said, my smile carrying more strength than anger ever could. "I have somewhere to be." Valerie stammered. "You're kidding, right? A helicopter? Since when?" I met her gaze. Since I stopped justifying myself. Her mouth opened, then snapped shut. Even Chloe paled. I walked through the stunned crowd, my steps resounding in the ballroom. Whispers trailed me. Some called it a bluff, others weren't so sure. The glass doors parted, revealing a night sky aglow with city lights. The steady thrum of rotor blades filled the air, growing heavier with each beat. The helicopter waited on the manicured lawn, sleek and black beneath the moonlight. As I approached, I glanced back. Valerie stood rigid in the doorway, her clutch gripped so tightly her knuckles turned white. My mother, Karen, stared at me as if seeing a stranger. "Olivia," she called, her voice shaky. "Where are you going?" I paused, meeting her eyes. "Home," I said softly. Some of us actually made one. I stepped into the helicopter, the blades roaring, swallowing the noise below. As we lifted off, the chaos shrank. Music, laughter, pretense fading into specks of gold below. Ryan's voice crackled through the headset. "Destination confirmed, ma'am." I gazed out the window as city lights blurred beneath us. "To the office. I need to review the acquisition before the market opens." He nodded. "Understood." I leaned back, watching the skyline slip by. They'd mocked the woman they thought was failing, unaware that my company had just acquired Valerie's husband's entire business empire. Tonight, that truth would shift everything. From above, the city seemed calm, almost serene. But I knew the truth. Down there were the same people who laughed at my struggles, who smiled to my face while gossiping behind my back. The helicopter touched down on the rooftop of Bennett Holdings, my company's name glowing white against the glass tower. I'd built this from sleepless nights, shattered confidence, and pain forged into strength. Ryan offered his hand as the wind swirled around us. "Welcome back, ma'am," he said. I nodded. "Let's close the Brooks account tonight." He hesitated. "Now?" "Yes," I said firmly. "It's the right moment." Inside, the office smelled of lavender and ambition. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the city, my reflection staring back, poised, unshakable. My thoughts drifted to Valerie. 3 years ago, she'd shamed me before the family after my father's death. I inherited nothing, not even a memento. She'd called me a nobody with no future. What she didn't know was that my father's silent partner, Thomas Reed, had contacted me. Your father trusted you, he'd said. So do I. He gave me control of his half of the company, the seed that grew into Bennett Holdings. By the time the elevator reached my office, Ryan was arranging documents on my desk. The acquisition file. Brooks Realty is yours, pending your signature. I paused. Brooks Realty, Valerie's husband's firm. Transfer all assets to our name by morning, I said quietly. Ryan frowned. Like this. I met his gaze. She's mocked my so-called failures for years. Let's see if she laughs when her home and her husband's company answer to me. He nodded. Understood. Hours passed, the office lights dimming, replaced by the glow of screens. I stared at the final document, whispering for every word you hurled at me. Valerie. This is my response. The next morning, Valerie's husband, Robert Brooks, stormed into my office, face ashen, tie askew. You can't do this, he yelled. You can't buy my company overnight. I stood calmly. Actually, Mr. Brooks, I can. And I did. All legal, all public. He slammed a fist on my desk. This is a game to you? You'll destroy my family. I tilted my head, my voice steady but sharp. Your family? The one that humiliated me at every gathering? That called me worthless. He went quiet. I'm not here for revenge, I said, stepping closer. I'm here for respect. Maybe this is the only way you'll understand. My assistant's voice buzzed through the intercom. Miss Bennett, your 10 a.m. visitor is here. The door opened and Valerie entered, her face proud until she saw the documents on my desk. She froze. Olivia, what's this? I gave a faint smile. Welcome to Bennett Holdings. Looks like you work for me now. Her jaw dropped. This isn't real. Oh, it's real, I said softly. Remember last night, when you said I was here for free food? Turns out, I paid for that entire wedding venue. I own it. Her face paled. I leaned closer, my tone firm. You taught me how cruel people can be when they think you're weak, Aunt Valerie. But you forgot. Some of us climbed silently. She blinked rapidly, her voice trembling. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. Just silence for once. I turned back to my desk as she stood, speechless. For the first time, her power to wound me crumbled. And the satisfaction wasn't just victory, it was liberation. I hadn't just surpassed them, I'd outgrown them. The next morning, headlines exploded. Bennett Holdings acquires Brooks Realty overnight. Every news outlet, every social feed carried the story. I didn't need to read the comments to know the whispers. Wasn't she the one Valerie mocked at the wedding? The tables had turned, and arrogance met its match. From my office window, the city sparkled in the morning light, but inside, I felt only stillness. Revenge should have been sweet, but it left me empty. Ryan entered, placing a folder on my desk. Reporters are relentless. They want a statement. No comment, I said. He nodded. Valerie's trying to reach you. I didn't respond, staring at the skyline I'd fought to claim. My phone buzzed. A text from my mother. What did you do, Olivia? Valerie's devastated. I closed my eyes, the memory of last night flashing, her silence as they laughed. Maybe I'd done this for her, too. Or maybe I was fooling myself. An hour later, I walked into Brooks Realty, now mine. The air was tense, employees whispering as I passed. They knew me, the woman who'd bought out their arrogant boss in a single night. Valerie waited in Robert's former office, blinds half drawn, sunlight cutting through in sharp lines. Her makeup was smudged, her hands trembling. Olivia, she said, her voice fragile. Please, you've made your point. Don't ruin everything we've built. I stood in the doorway, calm but cold. Everything you built, or everything you took credit for while tearing others down. Tears filled her eyes. I was cruel, I admit it. But this destroys families. Ours. Yours. I gave a soft laugh. Family? You use that word now. Her voice cracked. I was jealous, okay? You had grace, kindness, people loved you, even when you had nothing. I couldn't stand it. For the first time, I saw fear, not pride, in her eyes. Then she said, when your father died, he left a letter for you. I found it first. My heart stopped. What? She slid a worn envelope across the desk, my father's handwriting on it. I kept it because I thought you didn't deserve it, she whispered. I was wrong. My hands trembled as I opened it. His words were faint but unmistakable. My dearest Olivia, if you're reading this, I couldn't tell you myself. You're stronger than anyone I know. Don't let them make you think kindness is weakness. Build your world, but don't lose your heart. A lump rose in my throat. Neither of us spoke. Valerie's tears fell silently. Finally, I set the letter down. You don't deserve forgiveness, I said softly, but maybe you deserve peace. Her eyes widened. You're not firing me? No, I said, but you'll resign today. And you'll publicly apologize, not to me, but to everyone you've ever belittled. Her shoulders slumped. And after that, you live with what you've done. As I turned to leave, she called, Olivia, I'm truly sorry. I didn't turn back. Then prove it. Outside, the city skyline stretched before me, no longer making me feel invisible. For the first time, I understood my father. True strength isn't revenge, it's knowing when to stop. 3 days later, the buzz had quieted. Headlines faded, but my name lingered. Olivia Bennett, once the struggling cousin, was now the woman who turned shame into power. But revenge hadn't healed me. It only showed how deep the scars ran. That evening, on my penthouse balcony overlooking the city, my phone buzzed. My mother. I hesitated, then answered. Olivia, her voice shook. Can I come over? She arrived looking diminished, her usual confidence fractured. I saw Valerie's interview, she said. She admitted how she treated you about the letter. I crossed my arms as tears filled her eyes, and I realized I did the same. I stood by while they laughed. I should have protected you. I was ashamed of what you didn't have when I should have been proud of your strength. I'm sorry, Olivia. I stared, torn between turning away and wanting to be her daughter again. What hurt most wasn't their laughter, I whispered. It was your silence. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly. I know. The city hummed below. Then I said, I built what they said I couldn't, but it feels hollow when the people I love don't know me. She nodded. Let's change that. Let's start again. I hesitated, then stepped forward. She hugged me, and for the first time in years, it felt real. Pulling back, she smiled through tears. Your father would be so proud. I exhaled, eyes misty. Maybe I can finally believe that. The next morning, I did the unexpected. At Brooks Realty, now mine, I held a meeting in the main hall, cameras and employees watching. Valerie stood near the front, tense but composed. I addressed the crowd. Some know me as the woman who took over overnight. But that's not the story I want told. I was once humiliated publicly by someone who thought my worth came from my status. Instead of fighting back, I built something from that pain. But I learned revenge isn't strength, redemption is. Valerie's head bowed, tears falling. I continued. Today I'm promoting new leaders, people overlooked for years, who kept this company alive. Gasps echoed. And as for Mrs. Brooks, I said softly, I accept her apology. Cameras flashed, but I didn't do it for them. I did it for me. Valerie approached, eyes wet. You didn't have to do that. I know, I said gently, but I'm done being defined by pain. She nodded, voice trembling. Thank you, Olivia. I smiled faintly. Don't waste it. Outside, the air felt lighter. Ryan held the car door open. Home, ma'am. I glanced at the sky, a faint helicopter hum in the distance. No, I said, smiling. Let's take the scenic route. I've rushed through life long enough. He smiled. Yes, ma'am. As the car moved, city lights blurred into golden streaks, vibrant, alive, infinite. For the first time since that wedding, I wasn't running. I was living. Power wasn't in the helicopter, the company, or the revenge. It was in choosing peace over pride. And that, at last, made me whole.